Alright guys, back here with another video breakdown, this time of week 5. We're going to look at a couple plays where Cam Newton is going to quote-unquote beat the safety on a couple concepts in single high coverage. So actually if you go watch that famous video where Cam's doing that interview and he talks about giving a play call and some of the adjustments at the line, he mentions that if he knows he has Kelvin Benjamin or in any other example, someone else one-on-one, it's his job to quote-unquote beat the safety. So what that means is kind of manipulating the safety or holding the safety with his eyes. We're going to look at Cam kind of breaking down the coverage, kind of understanding what he's going to get pre-snap, understanding where he might want to go with the ball, and then using that process to hold the safety with his eyes and then throw where he was intending to throw the entire time. So we're going to look one play where he throws to Ed Dickson down the seam, and the next play where he has that nice throw to Kelvin Benjamin down the sideline for a touchdown. So let's go ahead and start out looking at this first play here. So what you're going to see here is Cam's going to kill the play, puts his arms out. He probably was in a run. Detroit's going to shift their defense in response. See the safety come down. Now they're obviously here going to be in some kind of single high look without some serious adjustment after the snap. What it looks like here you can see initially is that they're going to be in essentially what looks like cover 3 Mabel, which is a check against a 3-by-1 or any other, or generally a 3-by-1 passing threat. So you see here, potentially you have 3 receivers here. You have this receiver isolated to the other side. That's Kelvin Benjamin. You can see this corner is definitely playing in a man technique, and he will essentially play Kelvin Benjamin man-to-man. But this corner is playing an off with outside leverage. So, to this side of the field, you're going to see zone coverage, and then obviously you have this free safety in the middle. Now he's going to be inclined to hold into the center of the field and hold towards this 3 receiver side. He doesn't, because he knows and he's smart and he understands the play concept, he's not generally going to want to give too much help to this side. So this player is kind of on an island, which does come into play on the next play we'll look at. But for this play, let's look at some of what the passing concepts are. Essentially, this is going to be kind of a shot play out of heavy personnel. You're going to see the Panthers run that a lot, sometimes with play action, sometimes not. So it's generally going to be a lot of vertical routes down the field. You're going to see Kelvin Benjamin just run a streak. Russell Shepard initially comes out and then breaks his route off. Whether that was, he might have had potentially a vertical option, but this safety's playing off soft coverage, so he's going to break that off. Maybe that was the route to begin with. I don't know. And then you're going to see Ed Dickson work the seam here. Okay. And that's where Cam's going to want to go with the ball. So what you're going to see him do is he recognizes that he needs to work this safety to open up that seam. And those seams are something you want to attack anytime a defense plays a lot of single high coverage. And they did a good job of that this past Sunday. So Cam is going to take the snap, and he's really going to look directly at the safety, which is a common thing you'll see with quarterbacks right after the snap, is they want to check that free safety, make sure they're confirming the coverage. So he does that. What you're going to notice is he's going to do a nice little pump fake and look directly over to Kelvin Benjamin before immediately flipping back to throw the ball to Dickson. It's interesting because the safety does a pretty good job, and I don't think he really fools the safety. But the reality is he holds him there just long enough. He doesn't tip that he's going to throw this seam, so the safety can't drive hard on the seam until the ball released, which opens this window. And obviously Cam has a great arm, and he has great placement on the ball, which allows him to hit that window. So let's actually let's look at the play and watch it in live action here. So see, he's boom, pump fake, and then boom, hit Dickson on the seam, perfect throw. You're going to be able to see here on this other view a lot better what he does with his eyes and what happens with the safety. So we're gonna see him kill the play again. And obviously you see Dickson shift out there because once it's killed, he's got to be a receiving option instead of in run blocking. So watch him look at the safety. Boom, pump fake. Look where his eyes are. He's looking upfield towards Kelvin Benjamin, and he gives a little pump. See the safety, he doesn't, he's not really concerned with going that direction, but because Cam isn't leading him to this seam route, it's going to create that extra space and extra time that allows him to, you're going to see him flip back and make the throw. Perfect placement, leads him away from the safety to protect him. Just a great job by Cam there. All right, so the next play, this is actually really interesting. If you remember a few weeks back, I broke down a cover 3 Mabel beater, and they're going to basically run a similar play. Funchess here He's going to run, I think, some kind of vertical route. Maybe he runs an out. I actually don't remember. It's kind of inconsequential. Shepard's actually going to run a vertical, and we're going to talk about his route because it's kind of interesting given the way Detroit ends up defending this. We've got Dixon running this deep over route. That's the route we talked about them exploiting against cover 3 Mabel. And then we've got McCaffrey here running this low route to kind of put the linebacker in a bind. Now, what's happening here is that it does sort of look like they're going to play zone coverage, but they really don't. I think this is essentially cover 1, and I think that's because they saw this kind of spread out 3-by-1 formation with an X receiver, or in the past it's been Greg Olsen to this side, and they knew kind of from their film study that they want to run this cover 3 Mabel beater. And you can see, normally in a 3-by-1 formation, this safety is really going to cheat this way. But look where he's already set to this side of the field. He's already there so he can protect against this Dixon over route. And these guys are really going to be in man coverage. This guy's going to follow Dixon across the field. This corner is going to play Shepard. He's going to essentially, play him deep, and this guy's one-on-one with Funchess. So it was a nice adjustment by Detroit, and in all honesty, they defend this play well, and Cam just makes a better throw. But again, we're going to look at what Cam does here in terms of holding the safety to this side, making sure he doesn't commit to this route. And again, I think it helps that the safety is also concerned with this Dixon over route here, like I talked about. Okay. The other thing I wanted to point out, and I guess let's talk about it as the play goes on. Let's take a look at this play real quick. Cam's going to take the snap. Watch him see holds, gives that pump, and then just absolute perfect placement on this ball. But let's go back. I want to show you something here. So it's something for the Panthers and Cam to look out. Anytime the safety is cheating so far over this way, and understanding that what happens here really is that Cam likes this matchup with Kelvin Benjamin. He knows he can get him in a one-on-one situation, and he can take a deep shot. Now, Kelvin doesn't really win this route. He makes a nice play on the ball at the end, but Cam really does a great job of throwing him open. And it's nice that Kelvin has the size to win that throw regardless of his positioning, and he does a nice job of that. But let's go a little slower here. I'm going to kind of pause it as we go. Look at Cam really, because the safety is so concerned with that over route, he really has Russell Shepard here one-on-one. And, obviously it's always tough with these reads and these plays, but Shepard ends up, winning inside on this guy because that safety is obviously so concerned with these routes. Now, if Cam throws it this way, the safety is going to break this way. Who knows if it's not going to be this open, but it's not going to be this open. But it is something to look out for if teams start cheating over here on this cover 3 Mabel beater. You got to look at some of these backsides routes, potentially running this sort of seam post route here with whoever that second receiver is on the trip side. But let's take a look at that end zone view as well and watch Cam again work the safety. So see, he's going to paw. He's looking right that whole way, gives that little pump fake, turns back, and then obviously, just an absolutely perfect throw. You really can't throw it any better than that. All right, well, thanks so much for joining me again for this breakdown. You can follow me on Twitter at MarxistPanther. Let me know if you guys have any other things you'd like to see for a breakdown, and hopefully be back with another breakdown for you next week.